Today is July 12th and I'm going to get started on doing the bottom work. Now the reason this was put in the shed to begin with was we had a lot of instability on straight line maneuvering. If we got a breeze, it just blow the boat sideways because it's a flat bottom boat. It only drafts about an inch and a half. There's a lot of surface area, so the boat was literally just skimming on the top of the water and any breeze would just blow it sideways. So what you do is you put a keel on the bottom of the boat and it looks something like this. I'm just using this board. This is a little too big, but if we mount the board flat on the hole back here, you see this big old space. So you would have to like cut this board to fit perfectly. You have to cut a bunch of material off here, or what you could do is just lay it down like this and you could clamp it and it would take on the same shape as the hull. And thin enough wood can be built up to make it as high as you want it. So I'm going to get some strips of wood from Lowe's and I'm going to make a laminated keel. And what that does is it allows us to accommodate the curvature in the bottom of the hull with minimal problems. And then we can just laminate the next piece on top of that and bend that down as well and glue it. This isn't the board I'm using. This is just what I'm going to show you for like illustration purposes. They're going to be about half this width and about half this thickness. And I'll just run it right down the middle on both sides so that we have a little more straight line stability. So a keel just kind of, if you imagine it was built up this high, this kind of acts like have you ever seen a surfboard with a little fin in the back of it? That keeps it going straight on the waves. So this is what will keep us going straight on the water, even if it gets windy. It'll like slot car right into the water. So that was why this was originally put in here. So before I flip the boat over and work on a motor mount on the stern here, I want to get this keel done because that's why we put it in here so many years ago. So while it's upside down and it's nice and clean, and I got the lighting and the a safe area to work, I'm going to go for it. First, I want to get the materials at Lowe's. I'm going to go run and do that. That way I'll have everything on hand. I can look in the cellar, see what I have for epoxy resin and thickener agents, and then I'll have everything that I need. The next thing I would do is do a layout line from tip to tip, tip to tip, and I measure to make sure they're parallel. If they're off a little bit, I got to kind of shimmy the keel a little bit so they're running parallel to each other. So that's the plan. So here's the deal. I got to do some laminated stem work on the bottom of the boat. So I got all these slabs of wood that would just be pain in the butt to strap down. So what I did was I just put them in bucket ends, bungee cord them together to hold the bucket ends against the ends of the wood, and then bungeed it to the trailer rail and good to go. Otherwise, I didn't want to put these in the car. I didn't want to have to try and strap these down individually because these things are real slippery and they're real spindly and all, bouncy. So I came up with that, and I put the furring strips on top just so I can carry it like a handle to the backyard. So that's just the easiest way I could manage all these little itty bitty pieces of wood I got to get to laminate the stem with. So it looks to be holding pretty good on the back of the trailer. So I don't think I'll lose any material. I'll get it home safely and soundly, and I'll be able to just go right to work. It'll come off the trailer really quick. I'll carry it to the back and we'll be up and running. Okay, I'm back from Lowe's. I got my wood. So these are 1 3/8 wide by 3/8 thick. And what I'll be able to do is these are very flexible and bendable, so these will be able to take the form of the hull very easily. So I'll lay down a bedding of thickened epoxy resin, lay this down and clamp it, let it dry. Then I'll do the same on the second covering. I'll put some more epoxy on this surface between the boards and then clamp them together, and this way I can keep building this up. 2 to 3 pieces should give me the thickness that I want, and we'll be all set. So we'll do that on both sides. So it won't only take like a day to do that, maybe even less than that. So I want to get a keel put on both these hulls, and that should answer our issue with the straight line stability. So right now it's pretty hot in here, and we're in the shade. We're going to get, Tuesday it's going to be up to 100 degrees, so it's going to be pretty brutal in here. So what I want to do is put some ventilation. So the front of the hut is wide open. So what I want to do is put a couple of box fans up here and pull the air through the center of this so I keep this cool. So what I need to do is fasten a plank across, a horizontal plank, so I can just kind of lay these down. Maybe I can clamp them somehow, or just let them rest here or whatever. We'll figure it out. But I got to get some ventilation here. On Tuesday it's going to be unbearable to be working in here. So I gotta get some ventilation worked out. Okay. I got a framework put up and a little shelf. It's supported by these two beams. I cut the tarp so as when the fans blow, this will come open. I can put a piece of screen in here tomorrow. But these fit right on these shelves. And they butt up against this frame, so I can put some bungee hooks to keep them from falling out this way. And I'll hook up a power strip so I can power them simultaneously. Okay, it's not enough to, well, it flaps out a little bit. Let's take a look in the back. So I'd say that's working pretty good, but it looks like these jugs that are holding the tarp on, they got water in them, so they're kind of heavy to push. So what I could do is move those to the side and let that flap come up a little higher. All right, that's doing a little bit better. My plan is to put a screen over that so when the fans are off, bugs can't crawl back through there. And what I'll do is I'll be able to fasten the tarp to this framework that I built here. So I'll staple it, I'll do whatever I got to do to get this to connect. And then I'll put a screen, or actually when I put the screen over it, that'll hold the tarp down. Yeah, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm pretty much all used up for today. I just wanted to get this ventilation done and get the materials to start working on the keel. I added some bungee cords so that those fans stay put. When I was putzing around on the back trying to get them milk jugs out of the way, I knocked one of them over. So I got these, I put these pipe conduit holder thingies in there. So I say, and it's much cooler in here already. These have only been on maybe 10 minutes. It's much cooler in here. And any sanding dust and any fumes that I create from mixing up epoxy will you know, the VOCs will be able to ventilate out this way. So I'm going to have to put a power strip right in the middle here to plug in the fans. Right now I got these wires dangling and that's not ideal, but they're running off my Blue Eddy power source here. So this is a portable lithium ion battery. I have a green extension cord up here. Since I only got 2 outlets, both of them are running the fan. This third green cord is running the lights. So I can turn on all the lights if I wanted to. So I could turn on another light. I could turn them on all the way down, but I don't need to do that. So there's the boards for the keel. And I'm ready to go. I noticed there is already a scratch mark in there for the center line. I'll have to double check that tomorrow and make sure that both the keels are parallel to each other. Yeah, there's already a scratch line in here for the center, so I can just measure center to center. And what we'll do is we'll, just to review, we'll take these flexible boards and we can just, you know, bend them to how they're going to fit, and they can start building up a keel. So I figured 2 to 3 layers of this will give us a nice keel all the way across, and it'll help us with our straight line stability. So I'll play with that tomorrow. I got to go in the cellar and make sure I got all my epoxy resin that I can use to do that. Now that I have ventilation and lighting and the wood, I'm pretty much good to go. So I'm going to just clean up all these tools. I'm gonna put them in that van over there and lock them up, so I don't have to go all the way down and back and forth into the cellar. And we're good to go here. This is a pretty nice setup. I think this is going to work really nice.